Well, I have a feeling I might get a little hate for this one. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds. And today, we're going to be talking about Jordan Peele's new movie, Us, his follow-up to Get Out. Okay. I know I'm going to hear about it for this, but I didn't think this movie was the masterpiece that everyone is saying it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed this movie. I had a good time at this movie, but at the end of this review, I'm going to talk about why it didn't totally work for me. Again, if you love this movie, fantastic. I'm not going to disagree with you, your love of it. But me, when it comes to the way things end up, it just didn't totally work for me. But anyway, so at the end of this review, there's probably going to be some spoilers. I will give you plenty of warning. But what this movie is about, we see a little girl in 86. She gets lost from her family at an amusement park and ends up in this house of mirrors. And then it cuts to the present, and we're with this woman, or this girl, now grown-up's family, that are going on family vacation, and they're going to this same place. And what ends up happening is they're at their little summer home, and this family shows up, and as you've seen the trailer, it's them. And their doppelgangers are hunting him. And okay, that's really all I want to say about the movie, and that's really all I can say about the plot of the movie without giving big time spoilers. One thing I will say is this: to get the fullest enjoyment out of this movie, if you haven't seen the trailer for it, don't watch it. Don't go into this movie knowing as little as possible, because if you've seen the trailer, little bits and pieces will come back to you, and you'll probably get a little less enjoyment out of it. Now, I do think that while I'm not calling this movie a masterpiece, it does have a lot going for it. I will say I really like the performances in the movie. The family has to play two characters. So they have to play the good family and the bad family. And there's a lot there to that. Whereas in, the main girl kid is, kind of shy, and she kind of keeps to herself. Her doppelganger is just creepy. The little boy, he has to do a performance behind a mask and grunt and growl a lot. And you find out why he's under the mask later. So what this movie has going for it is likable characters and a creepy atmosphere. I cannot take that away from the movie. Anytime there's scares happening in the movie, they work. I'm not saying it wasn't jump out of your seat scary for me, but it was creepy scary, and I like that. I'm fine with that. I don't like the overuse of jump scares. I do feel that for all the violence this movie had, it could have been bloodier. I don't know if they were just... I mean, they already got the R rating, so I don't know if they're trying to avoid something. But there's a lot of, let's just say, uses of scissors in this movie and other forms of violence, and I would have expected it to have been bloodier. So it didn't really have that going for it, but still, it's creepy enough that when things are happening, it works. And I did have a good time watching this movie. There's really not much more I can say. I'm trying to dance around any potential spoilers, because when you start to learn what's going on, like really going on, halfway through the movie, you'd be spoiling big time surprises. So I will say this. This movie is creepy. There were some people in the theater that I went to that were jumping out of their seats at some of the scares. It was actually kind of funny. Too bad it wasn't the douchebag behind me that was narrating the entire movie for me. But anyway, the movie's creepy. I enjoyed it. I do recommend it. But here's where I'm going to get into spoiler talk. So I do recommend this movie. It's a good movie. It's a good creepy movie. If you like creepy movies, you're going to like it. Okay, I'm getting into spoiler territory because I have to talk about this stuff. Okay, so here we go. Spoilers, here they come. When you're dealing with a movie where there are doppelgangers, the twist is pretty obvious. I would have rather this movie not done what they do at the end with their little twist than do what they did. If they would have maybe even teased it, but it not be true, I think that would have worked better. But when you got a movie that's talking about doubles, you're thinking about that the entire time. When the movie's not telling you, it's keeping things from you, like that are flashbacks. They're like showing you bit by bit of the flashback. It's like, well, you're hiding something, and I had a feeling with what was going to happen at the end. I had a feeling it was going to happen. I wasn't sure, and I was kind of hoping I was wrong, but then it happened. I'm like, okay, fine, because it makes you question the entire movie. There's questions of just why didn't this character do this instead? Because if it were so easy for this character, why did this character not do it? Then there's also subtle hints throughout the movie that something's off, because communication for these doppelgangers is a bunch of grunts and growls and everything else. But then, again, this is a spoiler. If one character can kind of talk, you're like, something's up here. I will say, though, that the idea of these things, they do the same motions as us or feel our pain or whatever. Because there's one point where Winston Duke's character, the dad, he hits himself in the head and that hurts his doppelganger. But then it's like, well, when another stabbed, like say if one of them stabbed them, their doppelganger, why didn't it hurt them? There's a scene where one's being choked. Well, why weren't they being choked? It's just, the movie played a little loose with its own rules, and I thought that didn't work for me either. Again, though, I don't want to hate on this movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But just the idea of, okay, look, I'm all for movies giving mystery to their mythology. But this movie's is trying to say a lot. Plus, with interviews with Jordan Peele, he's saying, well, this whole universe has a mythology. Now, if he's going to make other movies within this world, okay. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't expect to see a movie called Them. Then again, we might. I don't know. I just don't think he's going to want to. Maybe he will revisit. I don't know. That's the big thing. If he revisits the world and tells the story of what happened next, then, well, I might be a little more forgiving. But I just don't know if that's where we're going to go. I think he's going to do something different. Will he do another horror movie? I don't know. But who knows? But with the way this movie ended, it kind of teased that, well, the problem's going to get taken care of. So, I don't know. Again, I wanted to love it. I really did. And I really do like this movie. And I'm not telling you don't go see it. But, again, a movie that has doppelgangers telegraphs itself. And I would have loved to have seen another twist because there were so many questions that didn't get answered, and it relied on this twist to be the big shocker. And it's like, well, I kind of saw it coming. I didn't want to be right, but I kind of saw it coming. So again, if you love the movie, I'm not hating on that. I get it. I really do. But me, while I enjoyed it, this everyone's saying it's a masterpiece. I can't buy into it. And that's really all I have to say about this movie. This movie is good and I recommend it, but I don't think it's as great as everyone's letting on, but that's just my opinion. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and you have anything to say about this movie, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later.